Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's market commentary, and I hope you're very well. The time is 10 to 8, and I'm just seeing cables having a nice run up here early this morning, and so not entirely unexpected. Thought it might do. And so potentially might get a little trade here if we can. But for the purpose of disclosure, though, it's just looks like it's just entered me in on a swing trade. Now, the guys in our trading room will know about this. I entered a swing trade order at least yesterday. Only a very small position, but let me bring the account over. And so I am short on the euro and sorry, on the pound. Let's bring that across so you can see. Can't see, can you? Let's have a look. Let's see if I can move this across a bit. There you go. Short on the pound. Only one lot, and so that I've got a short in play basically at the moment, but that's on a swing basis, and just with a stop at 158. So it triggered me in at 153.20. So it's obviously just done it this morning, and my stop is at 153.80. Now, if I actually come out to a higher time frame chart, what's actually happened is we've hit the 4-hourly 50 MA, and I'm just looking for the potential if I scroll out a little bit. And so my stop I've put above these highs here, so it's a 60 pip stop, but it's only a small position, so I'm risking £400 with the potential, and it is only potential, that ultimately I'm hoping that my analysis is right, that we roll all the way over and we eventually come down, break these lows, and come all the way a lot lower. So, but I don't know for certain. It's a trade idea where the risk to reward is very good, and I'll be looking to then build the position. If I am right and ultimately it does roll over, then I'd be looking to build the position to bring it to come all the way down to like I say, into the upper 140s. So we're looking at several hundred pips of profit. So only risking 60 pips to make several hundred pips. So, but I've got this trend line on here. This on the hourly chart, and the potential is that when you see a sloping trend channel line or trend line, that especially not a steep one like this, then maybe price is just going to break out of that anyway. But that's all right, because it'll tell me. I'll know that I'm wrong quite quickly, and I'm quite happy to risk just 60 pips on a one lot trade. If we break out, then great over the next day or whatever, and if we break out above 153.80, then that's fine. That swing trades off. I'll lose £400 on it, and then we're off to the races probably. So on the long side, so which is fine. So at the moment, it's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. So let's go back to the 5-minute chart, and so I'm just having a quick look at the euro as well. I need to keep my eye on that. So what I'm looking at here is it looks like we've got a little band play coming, so we're looking to trade that. So just getting got all the tickets ready. So for an actual day trade, I'm looking to go long, and so we'll see if that's going to be able to play out. So just going to see if we can get a long off on the bands. So if we can come into the lower bands down here, then I'll be looking to get a little long position going, and we'll see how that's going to go. So I'll press pause for a second. Okay, so we're getting close to the lower band now, so I'm just waiting here. It's now just after 8 o'clock. The market still looks alright. We've got positive momentum across the board. We have hit resistance. We've hit yesterday's highs. We've hit an hourly obviously the hourly 4-hourly 150 MA. We've hit what else have we hit? A daily R1 pivot. So we've hit a bit of resistance up here. So we're going to be playing. It's going to be fine lines, small margins by looks of things. But we're just pulling back into a new 8 AM pivot, and so we're just going to see if we can capture. It's only going to be small. It's tiny here this morning, really. But we'll see if we can get something off, and then try and run something if it's going to do something like that. So. It could overrun slightly as well, so it's always possible. 153 to come back down and test these highs. Markets always like to retest prior highs, but I'm having to hope that it doesn't want to come down that far, because my stop won't be that far away. Well, it'll probably be around about that level actually. So once I see how we enter, because the way the markets the bands move, we can price can come through it a little bit. I have to allow it some slack, so I'm probably going to have to put my stop down in this zone. Anyway, let's and we'll put in probably 3 this morning. I'm not feeling actually. Why am I putting in 350s? Why don't I put 400s in? That'd be better, wouldn't it? Okay, so we do it that way. So rather than putting 3 150s in, totaling 450. I'm just going to put 4 100s in, so it's slightly down. But than what I normally do. But the markets have been like that this week. It's actually been funny, actually, because I've been downsizing personally all week, actually, the way the markets have been, and so been trading smaller size all week. And so anyway, so what we're going to do is what I have to do with my account, just for new bods, is I have to put break my orders up rather than putting one order in, and the reason being is because I like to incrementally take profits off. And if I just put one order in for 400,000, then I can only come out of that whole order for 400,000. So I put 4 or 5 or 6, or however many I want to put in, smaller orders in, so that I can incrementally take profits off. So that's why I do it that way. Anyway, so it's a weird one that when you're seeing that I'm swing short, but intraday looking to get long. So it's just the way it goes sometimes. Excuse me, drinking my tea at the moment. It is breakfast time. Right, so we'll see if we can get down to lower band, which I'm sure we're going to. So I'm not in a rush to hit this one just yet. So I'll put 4 in. Yeah, 4 will do. Looks like we're nearly there. Okay, there's 1 and 2. Come on, 2. Takes a while for it to trigger. 3. I've got 3 in. Okay, and 4. Right, okay. So I've got the 4 trades in. So let's just move the deal tick off. So here's my 4 long trades. Ignore the 2 shorts, which are, sorry, you can't see everything there, so bring it across a bit. Ignore the 2 shorts. That's something entirely different. We'll revisit that later on. So here's my 4 longs. So I'm just going to sort out the stops, but I need to do it off screen because I can't see obviously the chart there. Now bear in mind with me, I'm looking at not just this chart. I've got my other charts off screen as well that I'm keeping my eye on. That's what I'm looking at, all that information. So just a case now of seeing what's going to happen really. And that's just trading. So for people who are new to our video updates, I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. And generally, you see, we've been doing this for what? Oh, I don't know, a year, at least a year. I've been doing these every Friday morning, and I think that in the main, we've come out profitable. Nicely profitable. But certainly there are Fridays when I just lose, and nothing you can do about it. I always say that I'll have a maximum drawdown on a Friday of £2,000, so that's the maximum drawdown. But I'm obviously playing quite relatively small here this morning. Right, let's get the excuse me, stops sorted. So rather than me chatting on, so I've got to put the stops in for each one of these 4 trades. So I'll do that just whilst I'll press pause. There's no need for me to waste time just doing. Right, stops are in. So let's now. So I'll just bring the account over again. So stops are in. So as you can see, I've put them in at 153. So entries are at 153.14s. No, sorry, over here. That's the current price. Entries are at 153, 14, 13.4, 12.9, 12.4. So there's the entries, and here's the stop areas. So what I'm looking for, we're playing very small margins. So I've given it plenty of slack to put the stop down here. So it's only 14 pips stop. That's from the worst entry. And unfortunately, sometimes when the bands are tight, then there's not a lot of potential profit in it. You have to give it a decent enough slack, but the upper bands are the first profit target. So if we get up there, then I have to take the first half off. So let's bring the deal tickets over, because I have to bring them up. And so these are each of the deal tickets for each of those 4 orders that I've put in. And so what we'll do is if we come up to the upper bands, then we'll take the first half off. And this is just the way it goes sometimes. As many of you longer term viewers see, that sometimes I'm in trades I'm looking to run for 60 pips or whatever, and other trades, and certainly recently we've had a few of those, and then other times I'm just playing small intraday trades, which are scalping basically. But anyway, we'll just see if we can get up towards the upper band, and then we'll take 2 of these off. That's half, and then we'll see if we can get a bit of a run, and then on the remainder. So for now, we'll just do that. So, and by taking half off, then it just secures the trade overall. I can then afford to move my stop up to, I wouldn't even move it up to break even, I'll move it up to this low point. That's if we do come up to the upper band from here. then it's a nice little hammer. So if we did do that, then I would move my stop up to this low, and at that point then you can't lose, and then you just start to trade manage and see if it does go up from there. So that's the idea. I'll press pause for now because we're already 10 minutes into this recording, and we've got a long way to go yet, so I'll press pause. It's an interesting market today in that we've got the pound, which has just had this pop up obviously here this morning, and it's got increasing momentum. Nothing too major. It's not. It could certainly wane, and that's why I'm keeping the position size low, and that's why I've been keeping the position size low pretty much all week. Now, most of my trades this week have been bigger runners, where I'm looking for more pippage. So I've been trading, generally speaking, smaller position size, but by getting to run the trades a bit more, then it's made up a little bit for the lack of size. But sometimes that's what you have to do when the markets aren't moving quite the way that you wanting them to. Then downsize your position. Don't worry about having to do that and make less money over a period when whilst the markets are maybe not quite as clear or the price action sticky. And that's what we've had. We've had some great moves of late over the last week or two, but the price action has been sticky, or it's been going from one direction to another, up one day, down the next, and it messes up the intraday charts. And so you're not getting that follow through. And so for that very reason, it's made sense to me to say, okay, well, I'm still going to trade. I'm still catching some nice trades, but I'm just downsizing the position so that if I am indeed wrong on a trade, and obviously there's always trades that we're going to be wrong on, but if I am going to be wrong, then because of the markets being quite whipsawy, then it's not going to cost me too much. And so it's worked out all right, actually. So yeah, I've made less money over the past week or two. But that's fine. We've had a great run over the last few months, and so trading doesn't always come to making the same amount each and every day or each and every week. It varies, obviously, and you have your real killer patches when everything's going really nicely, and then you have your periods where it's a little bit quieter, and that's just the part and parcel of trading. So anyway, I think I'm just going to press pause again because we're already at 13 minutes. Great, we're going through quick today. So it's looking like we're going to come up towards the upper band, but sometimes this can be a problem with when you're trading bands. The best time for the bands, obviously, is when price comes straight down, hits the lower band, and comes straight up. If it overruns it or takes time, then what happens is the upper band then starts to slope over, which gives you a lower target than obviously if it had come straight up to it over there. So, but anyway, it just means that we're playing with literally pips here today, unfortunately. But anyway, we'll still see if we can come up to the upper band. I'm going to move my stop up again shortly because of what's happening here. We've put in reversals and all of that. So just see if we can get to this first profit target first, see if we can hit that upper band. Excuse me. And then I'll start to move my stop up as well. So see if we can hit that first of all. So I've come on sound just as it's now gonna. It's almost like it gets shy, the price action. As soon as I hit record, then it gets shy, and it doesn't necessarily always start moving for you, just as it does as soon as I press pause. And then as soon as you press play, then it gets shy. Okay, looks like we're nearly there. Oh, hit 16 and nearly hit it. So if we get back up to sort of 16 or so, looks like that would be about the right level. Just a bit over, but it was close there. But no cigar. Now I'm going to move my stop up to the low, so it looks like it's around about 09. So I'll be moving my stop up to 09. So I'll try and do that off screen whilst I'm waiting here. And so let's just get that sorted out off screen. Oh, there we go, 16s. Looks like that's still not quite hit, is it? 17, that must be hit. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we've got half off now, so we've taken 2, but we're playing with such small amounts. I mean, it's excuse me, £100, something like that. I'll show you in a second. So let's so we've taken half off. Let's just move these out of the way so that you can see the position management. So I've got to move the stops up. 09, I've got that on that one, and let's move this one up to 09 as well. And then we'll just see. And obviously again, remember these two are the first two trades are these two swing shorts. I'll go into a bit more detail on those in a second. So we'll leave those alone. Like I said, stops up at 80 or 69, and I was entered at 79. Sorry, so call it 80, and so I was in at 20. So we'll see what happens with those. And here's the remainder. So here's the first two. We're in at of these four, we're in at 12.9, 12.4, and we've come out 16.3. So 4 pips and 5 pips respectively, or whatever, and we're just in these remainders at the moment. So yeah, okay, wonderful stuff, isn't it? really high stuff. But anyway, as far as a trade exercise is concerned, we can see that we've now got the stops up to 09, and therefore it's just a case of seeing of whether this is going to start to build and grow. And if it does, what I'll do is I'll take another unit off up at the prior highs, up at around about just around about 30, maybe 29, and then all of a sudden it's a nicer level off of one of those entries. So then you're talking about 15 pips, and then ultimately see if we get a real runner going. And if we do get a real runner going, what would I be looking for? Well, we have got this trend channel line up at 153.40, and I would look for 153.40. So incrementally taking profits off along the way. And so ultimately, yeah, it's still never going to be a huge trade, unfortunately, today, because I've downsized my positions this week, and because I wasn't feeling hyper confident about this trade. It's a setup, and sometimes you get a setup and you don't necessarily feel wonderful about it. Like I said, the momentum was positive across the board, but it wasn't massively accelerating, and the momentum on the other charts I'm looking at. And so if I don't see that, then I know that it's got potential for at least a bounce, but I'm not overly 100% confident on the trade. So I'll take it. It's worthwhile taking the trade, but I'm not going to put normal position size on it. So, but at the end of the day, if this still runs, we'll still make a couple hundred, £200 or £300 out of the trade. So it's still not the end of the world, but it's nothing that great, is it, on a Friday? So, but anyway, we shall see how this is going to go. So I'll press pause for now. Okay, so whilst it's just sort of trying to creep up, I've actually just put a limit order in at 153.29, so obviously about 30s there. So obviously by the time we take the spread into account, then I've put the limit order in there at 29, just while I'm going to go and get myself sorted out, because I don't need to be sat here in front of the charts whilst we're just waiting to see what happens. Stops at a point where we can't lose overall on the trade, so that's fine. And it's now just a case of whether it can get up there to that third target, and if it can get up to there, then we start making a little bit more. So I'll bring the count up so you can see roughly where we are at the moment. Obviously we've got the swing trades counting against the intraday trades today, so they're trading against one another. And so but ultimately, if my swing trades don't pay, and I make at least £400 today, which I'm sure I probably will as I go through the day, then they offset one another anyway, and that's fine. That's what it's all about. And sometimes you get your swing trades and your day trades all working for you, and that's when the cream comes, and that's the idea. So but for now, we'll just see what happens. We're at 153.23 at the moment, and so far we're up 60, 120, 160 or so on these trades, I think. Maybe a bit more than that actually. Here with these two, 170. So but it's all hypothetical, really. It's meaningless until we see the price getting up towards those targets, and and then we'll see. I mean, we do have the potential. The potential is there that if this is early stage and this is starting to grow, that this could end up being a real runner today on the pound. It is the potential. If I'm wrong on my swing analysis and we're going to break out of that trend channel line, so let's go back out to the hourly chart, and we're going to overall break out of that, then there could be a really good runner. But I've got to take profits off at the trend channel line, because that's going to be a decent level of resistance. Now, whether it just smashes through it and breaks through, well, of course that could happen, but it's logical to take profits off. If I could split what that fourth quarter down of that trade into half of that, which I can't do because I've only done it in those four elements, then I would take a portion off at that, and then see if it goes. But what I have to do in the first instance is take some off at the prior highs, because there will be a little divergence up there, so it's logical to take some profits off up there. And then I've only got 1 quarter left, and with which to come out when it gets to the trend channel line. So I mean, there's always different techniques you could use. I could just say, okay, well, we get up to the trend channel line, I won't take anything off, I'll just move my stop up a bit and see how we go. So there's always that potential, but I think we'll be happy enough if we get up to that 153.40 odd. So I think it will be up. That'll be what, 27 pips or so on the final quarter, and I think it'll still end up being a half decent trade overall. So make about what would it make? I don't know. I'm trying to guesstimate what it'll be. We're looking at my thing over there. I'm not used to playing in these 100,000 increments. It's a bit on the low side, but it'll probably be about 250 quid. So we'll just see how it goes. But the interesting thing is, let's actually have a look at the euro, and because the euro is pretty weak here this morning, it just doesn't want to know at the moment. So it's interesting that we've got cable going up and the euro not wanting to play ball. Just I guess a fascinating morning there, really. So anyway, I shall press pause and we'll come back to this. So as I'm just watching the price meander its way up here, we haven't hit that, obviously, that second target yet. But actually, just thinking about it, what I might as well do is not take profits off at that trend channel line, because remember, I have this swing short position in, which is 100,000 in total. It's 250,000, so I'd put it in that incrementals so that I could then at some point in the future take part off. Well, why not just trail my stop up a little bit as price comes up. I've got it at 11 now, but I've trailed it up a bit more if price gets up, because one of these is going to come off. This 100,000 will come off if we hit that 29, so it'll bag the profits there. And I might as well leave this one because it's 100,000, so it'll completely offset these 50. So if we come all the way up and stop me out here, then this will have completely compensated for it. So I might as well just have it as a complete hedge. So what you're going to see me doing today is a complete hedge. Looks like this is about to hit my target. It's at 28 at the moment. Yeah, nearly there. So what we're going to do today is just run this as a hedge and see if we can do it that way. Now, obviously, if it goes up to that trend channel line and then rolls over, then it will obviously still stop me out. So on the long side, but then I'll still be in the short. I guess the thing is, if it goes up to trend channel line, pulls back, stops me out in the long, and then still goes higher again, then that's what happened. But yeah, we could try and see if we can run it as a complete hedge. Or maybe a not quite complete one. Let's see. If we start putting extremes in and things like that, then I can possibly then just use it as an exit. So I've got some options here. I'll press pause. Okay, so it's come up. It's obviously hit my target actually at 30. So let's have a look at that and look at the account so you can see exactly what's happening, because the account will not move now. So we hit that last one at 30. Where was it? Yeah, 13 to 30. So I took 17, just under 17 pips off of that one. All small stuff today. So we've got this final one in, and we're at 32, as you can see at the moment. Now, the interesting thing is, because I've got 100,000 long and I've effectively 100,000 short, you'll see the account's not moving now. The overall P&L is not going to be moving. You'll see the P&L on the individual trades moving around, but I'm completely hedged at the moment. So far, we've made 100, 200, 220, 30, 40, 250, 260 or 70 quid so far on the long side. But what I'm doing is just at the moment, I'm completely neutral in the market. So either way we go now, I'm hedged. So what I could do is even take my stop out if I wanted to on the long side, and take my stop out on the short side if I really wanted to, because I am completely flat. I'm hedged. As you can see, it says I'm square. Look, I'm in open positions, but I'm square. It's saying. So it's now just a case of trying to get clever and decide, okay, well, what do we want to see? So what do we want to do? Because I'm not going to be making any more money until I actually release one of these two. Oh, one thing I do need to do is move my stop up. So I'm not going to remove my stop, obviously, and I'm going to lock in profits on that back end. So I'm going to move my stop up to about 20. So let's just quickly do that. We'll put it up to, yeah, it might as well. There we go. Now, so here comes the dilemma, because the price is moving up. I'm not making any more money on my trade at all, but remember, I'm losing more money on the swing short. So if I continue to lose money on that, it doesn't make any difference. I'm still going to come out net 197 today. So that's the nice thing by being completely hedged, and we're coming right up into the trend line. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind is that we should, although it's nice being hedged, but just bear in mind that we're day trading here today, so it's all about how much money have I made from a day trades. That's just a swing trade, which is in something entirely different. So so the day trade is still running quite nicely, and up whatever, we're up 200, 300 pounds now on this day trade. So now we've come into that trend channel line, so there we go. So having a good run here, and maybe I will just take that off actually and release it. But let's have a look. Actually, the momentum's looking good, so we still look like we could carry on higher. So no, actually, I think we're going to continue with this one, and just use the day trade to offset the short on the short trade. So I'll press pause for now, and we're 26 minutes in. I'm not going to be able to get any more trading in done today because of how much time we've taken today already, so I better press pause, and we're just going to end up trying to get this one closed out, and then we'll get this out to you. It's only 8:45 now, so I'm not going to be able to do any more trading because of the size of this video. So but I hope it's been a good video for you today anyway. Okay, I've just noticed there's a 15-minute divergence between this peak and this peak, so I'm actually going to close out this trade here and bank the profits on here. So I'm unreleasing the hedge, and we could go higher obviously, but you know what, even if we go higher, so I've just closed out of that now. So we banked, as we can see on the long trade this morning, 165, so it's 265, 273, 293, 300, 325 pounds on that trade. So not a bad little trade actually in the end, considering it was a reduced stake, because we got a bit of a run there. We've diverged here, so into the trend line. Remember, that's on the hourly charts, so right into there. Now we could go higher, and do you know what though, if we go higher with the profits that we've made on the longs, we've made 325. Like I said, I would lose £400 on this swing short if this goes up and hits the stops up there at 79. So I'd lose £400 roughly on that. I think it might be slightly less. So I'll be net £75 down, let's say, call it, for the day, if that was to happen. So I think we can cope with that, and bear in mind I will be trading more yet today, but this is a 28-minute video now. I'm going to need to get this out to you. We can have a look at some of the analysis. Overall on the pound, like I said, I've been looking at the daily charts. I see the potential for us to roll over on the pound, and if I'm right on my swing, then hopefully this is going to react to this trend channel line. It's probably going to take a few hours to react because we're building up some nice momentum at the moment, and that needs to wane off. But if it does, then I'm looking for this to roll over and come ultimately down to retest these lows back of March. So so I'm risking 60 pips to potentially make 500 or so, so 400 or so. So that's in the first instance, and I'll be looking to build the position as we come down. So on subsequent Fridays, if I'm right and I don't get stopped out here and the price does start to roll over the coming days, you're going to see this position in my account every Friday, because I'm just going to be continuing to play this position, and obviously I would look to build the position as price did, if price did indeed come down. So that's what I'm looking for overall on cable. I will know if I'm wrong if we break that higher at 153.80. So if we break 153.80, then it's more likely that this is actually like a little bull flag and we're going higher and we're going to be heading up towards 155. So it's one of those moments at the moment where the markets are in that state of influx. So we just, it could go either way. And it's a similar sort of thing with the euro dollar. Let's go back to the euro. Euro's again been a bit weaker today. It's not really up to too much. Sorry, that's euro yen. Let's go to the euro dollar. Euro dollar. Again, been very sloppy price action, as you can see over the past 2 weeks worth of trading, and that's what I'm talking about. Downsize your positions if you're not entirely, if the markets are not that clear. So that's what we've been doing there. I'm not going to do any more analysis because this has become a very big video off of just one trade today. So I've been doing a lot of chit chat by looks of things. So let's see if I can find the pound again, and we'll go back to that one final time. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I was just trying to find it across my watch list there, and so there you go. It's so far it is reacted against that level, so I exited that final position at 39.8, so right up there. So we'll just see how it's going to continue to react against that. So you can see this, you know exactly where I am now as regards to my trading, whether this is going to roll over, and if it starts to roll over. But I'm not looking to take any profits off the table for a long time yet, if it does indeed roll over, and in fact I'd be looking to build the position. But at the moment we've got upside momentum on the day, and this could go blasting through and stop me out. So be it. I don't exactly lose much today, and hopefully I can find some more trades this morning anyway. Have a great weekend, and be back in touch next week.